Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another couch video. When the Playa life chooses you. And this was a request by someone that I communicated with on my IG. And I was going to shout out his name, but brother, you know how some folks are. You might be getting some people looking you up trying to mess with you or something. But, you know, I said I had to address that issue. When the Playa life chooses you. And it's interesting because when you out here in the world, forget what we doing online, forget what some middle class sheltered people might think. When you're out in the world, when you talk to pimps and you talk to players, they'll say the life chose them. That's some real stuff. Now, when I ain't gonna get into the pimping side, even though there have been some dudes who think I'm on some pimping stuff. Yeah, we won't get into it, right? But check it out, right? When the Playa life chooses you, it's a very simple thing. The women been throwing it at that dude. And I'm gonna tell you what, it could start when the dude was being babysitted by an older girl or something. He might be 8 years old, and then the older girl, or babysitting 13 or something, be like, hey, let's play house. Yeah, let's do this. Might take his pants down, suck his dick. No joke. Unfortunately, there have been some cases where you get some older woman who had the boy do some stuff to her. Comedian DeRay Davis, he said that. It was a crying shame. It's some fucked up shit. And I had to do another video on it, but he talked about two 30-year-old women made him eat their pussy. Sometimes some shit chooses you. Now that's a bad situation. That's a whole other conversation, and that'll bring out like Professor Rom that. I'll be sitting in front of the bookcase and everything to do that one. But if you look at a lot of young guys, not all of course, but this first sexual experience, it might not have been with just some little girl in some relationship. Or even then, I'm gonna get into that in a second, but it might have been some older girl or woman or something throwing him the naughty. It could be that woman in the neighborhood or some who like mess with young boys. And say invite them over after he done cut their grass or something, all of a sudden they fucking. It could be in high schools. This happens a lot. Where you get some teacher, she started liking some student or something, and then she just decides she gonna slide him something. Even when she has a husband or something. That happens a lot. And see, once a dude hits that, all of a sudden, psychologically, subconsciously, he knows he'll start carrying himself in a way that'll draw other women to him. See, understand, some women very aggressive about sex. When they want to fuck, they want to fuck. Anybody, well, let me just say, it can't be everybody. It's usually some guys who would be considered part of the group, so definitely select group, the section I would call the Mr. Good Bars. Seriously, there's a lot of dudes out there had some experience like that. There's a lot of dudes, and like some of them, like I said, should be considered child molestation. Some of them should be, but then you got some other ones. It might just be the little girl in the neighborhood just decide, hey, he might just be. I'm gonna tell you what, this happens a lot, especially with some guys in the neighborhood. They just maybe know a girl. She in her, she home. She got her parents, and she say, hey, why don't you come over? Or why don't you come behind this building? I want to, because she'll draw him over just so she can slap him down. Or she'll draw him over, she touching on him and everything. She coming after him. Because I'm going to tell y'all something now. A lot of guys, let's just be real, a lot of guys don't get this, but little girls especially, young women, they actually way more aggressive than people think they are. A lot of guys think they ain't, but those guys are non-select to begin with. They ain't the cute boys or the popular boys or the charismatic boys in the neighborhood or the bad boys. But when the girl, because think about something, I'm gonna tell you something now. Girls, they checking out a dude from the time they little. They get that cute guy in class, and they supposed to be studying. They steadily writing that guy's name in their notebooks or something. And they trying to figure out a way. And then some of them, they'll give it. And see, the guys end up becoming players because the women throwing it at them. The women tossing them the naughty. And what's you go tell some little guy, get some like pretty girl or some like attractive older woman talking about, hey, why don't you come over? I got some cookies for you. Yeah, she got some cookies for him, all right. What he supposed to do? Oh no, I ain't gonna do that shit. That little guy, when a boy, a young guy, shoot. If your ass is normal, shoot, you horny every day. You don't have to do anything to get your joint hard. Shoot, you be in class or something. Teacher asks you come up to the board. You can't because your joint too hard. You don't want to show it. You be like, oh no, I can answer from here. I can answer from here. Shoot. Or sometimes if you do get out, the little girls be like, now they'll be texting each other. Be like, oh, you see that joint? Yeah. And then they'd get slick or something, talk about they having a party or something, like a sleepover. They'd say, yeah, come on over. You got all of them. Then the dude get there. It is just him. Oh, yeah. Okay, I ain't gonna give myself away. Anyway, but there's some real talk, though. When you talk about a lot of guys who are really in that player life players, and some people will try, his detractors will try to say, oh, he just being bad and everything. You get some women who will publicly say, oh, yeah, he bad. But the women made him that way. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. If he's that way, he's because the women made him that way. They were throwing it at him. They were handing it to him and everything. The guys don't have a thing of chasing. Indeed, when guys are like that, you tell them about approaching or they got chased, so they meet a woman they want. They don't know what to do because they ain't used to it. They are really not used to it. I mean, there's some real talk on this, y'all. There's some real talk. Like I said, there's that really negative aspect. But if the dude can pretty much get like some girls around his age and everything, they make it increasingly easy. Like I said, she'll invite him over to her house with her parents out. Shoot, I know of cases where the parents are in the house, they just down in the basement, be quiet and everything. Because I'm gonna tell you what, especially young girls, when they get horny, they get super aggressive. They change up because every drive is in there. And sometimes the guys ain't ready. That's why they'll say little girls are more aggressive or more mature than young boys. Generally, that's bull. Generally. What they should be more accurately say, they just more sexually aggressive. That's why you'll get like some 14-year-old girls all of a sudden. They might have been that one who, playing with worms, playing basketball and all the sports with the guys. All of a sudden, puberty hits, all of a sudden they change up. They change up and they figure out their sexual power. And they more aggressive. When they got that drive, they are very aggressive about satisfying it. Only they're gonna satisfy it with certain guys though. That's the only thing. And those guys, even if that guy just wanna do whatever, the player life chooses him. Very important to understand. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for now, y'all. Get back with y'all later. Peace and blessings.